Wednesday, baby. It's Wednesday. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Mainly dealers, window shopping, Honda and Sony strong showing at CES, and Snap just threw social media totally under the bus. Backed it up, threw him under, ran it over, put it in reverse, dunk, all the way in. I guess if you're going to do that, you might as well go all the way. Did you get crazy wind? I know a lot of the country had like some crazy wind.
We had it 2 nights ago, not last night, the night before. And then like the rest of the East Coast got the crazy wind. There were tornadoes down in Panama City. The Tampa had like a bunch of tornado warnings, I heard. And yeah, it was nuts.
Like fun. We had some wind up here, but I mean, people were kind of freaking out a little bit, but they're really, I mean, it wasn't like it was down there at all.
No. Yeah, I mean, the 2 nights ago, two of my 3 kids were up for like 3 hours.
Okay, so. Well, that's how we know. Hey, Leah, first comment on LinkedIn.
Oh, Leah, income,
a new nice leaderboard leader. We'll take that. Welcome everyone that's on the live stream. We're so glad you joined us in the mornings for the live show because we are recording it right now. It's not pre-recorded, and we love the comments. We love you here, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, or now Instagram. We love the fact that you're spending a few minutes with us, so we'll try to give you our best shot every day.
Best shot every day.
Hey, yep. Just about a week till we're in Washington, D.C. at the Washington Auto Dealership, New Car Auto Dealer Group Public Policy Day. We already connected with a bunch of people we're going to be with. Thank you so much for our sponsors at Mosaic who are helping us make that possible. They do all kinds of compliance consulting, and so it was just appropriate that they're going to hang out with us at Public Policy Day. Yeah. We're texting back and forth with Mike Stanton yesterday. He's going to be there, so we're going to get to talk to him, as well as some members of Congress, some OEMs.
I'm really excited. These are conversations that you and I actually don't get to have a lot because we don't deal in like the policy and government side of stuff a lot. But I think it's something that's really important to dealers right now because there's just so much attention on Capitol Hill on dealers and retail automotive. And so we'll try and, all of these people have their PR game pretty tight, but we'll try and dig in just a little bit.
Try to loosen them up just a little bit. And obviously NADA coverage, Soto is going to be in full effect, full production crew. We're going to be rolling heavy. If you're going to be at NADA, let us know. We would love to say hi. Also, we don't have a graphic for this or anything yet, but if you have your calendar, if you're going to be at NADA, or if you're just going to be watching the NADA live coverage, we are going to be at the NADA live stage on Thursday. Right? Thursday, 3:15 to 3:30. That's Pacific. Right. That's Pacific time, though.
That's Pacific, yeah. So
6:15 to 6:30.
If you're watching Eastern the live stream of the live stage, catch us at 6:15 Eastern time. But yeah, we can't wait to.
But if you're in Vegas,
everybody, it's going to be like a SODU mass at 3:15.
We're gonna do actually a little meet and greet after the session. We're gonna kind of show the NADA world what More Than Cars is all about. So if you can be, it's in the convention center main hall right next to registration, the live stage, 3:15 to 3:30 on Thursday, February 1st.
There you go.
Did I get those dates right?
You nailed it.
I had to concentrate really hard to make sure I got those right.
I'm impressed. You even got February 1st out of that. That's great.
I know. All right. Well, let's talk about a little bit of news. So despite profit concerns, dealerships being more or less profitable now, over 75% of dealer group leaders expressed an eagerness to expand their holdings, according to Presidio Group's Q3 dealer survey. So Presidio Group's survey said 79% of dealership leaders are aiming to acquire more stores in the next year. 11% are considering selling. But even though they see a major dip in profitability, they still are influenced by the need to have a bigger group, more leverage, more brands. So Toyota, Lexus, and Porsche top the list of most desirable brands for ownership. And dealers are looking to enhance their portfolios with brands that build ROI across the board. Here's a quote from Presidio President George Karolis. A lot of dealers believe they should have more scale to be better prepared for the future.
Yes. So first of all, obviously Toyota, Lexus, Porsche, the ones that everybody wants.
Subaru's probably next on that list.
I bet you Subaru's probably higher. It's just not normally in the like.
it's just a
like,
given.
Oh, everybody wants a Subaru.
It's a given.
You can't have one.
We know it. That's really funny. You can't have one.
So Here's the other like, I'm just gonna say this. In early 2019, I'll never forget, and you can ask the 3 people that were sitting in the room. I was sitting in the room with 3 executives at the group that I left, and I said to them, "It's over the next 5 years, every dealer group that has 7 or less stores is gonna have to make a conscious decision on whether or not they will grow to maintain relevancy and experience the benefits of scale and centralization, or sell in order to capitalize on the profitability and the timing of the market being ready to buy." Like, that's gonna have to happen, and we're starting to see that rapidly accelerate, and I think it's gonna continue to accelerate over the next couple of years, just because the opportunity is so great if you have some version of scale.
The ability to scale and scale culture too. I think that's when we're seeing the situations
That's what's hard
that turn out the best.
Yeah.
Every time you acquire a group, it dilutes the culture that you have by that much. Now, people will say it contributes to the culture, but the reality is, the larger group that has the more established culture, or actually could be the store coming in as well. You have like a cultural navigation that if you can get that right, that really is going to be the differentiator. Obviously, some exceptions, right? Some large Toyota stores and large single points that are kind of like little behemoths in and of themselves. You know, do they need to acquire more stores? Probably not. But group leaders, you know, we see it. It's not going to stop. We're going to keep going.
I think you're going to see Asbury and Lithia and Group One and Penske and AutoNation continue to grow via acquisition this year. It's happening.
They got systems. That's for sure.
Speaking
of systems,
segue
time. Different kind of system.
Totally different.
Yet a system. Honda's CES showcase, Consumer Electronics Show. We've been covering it all week. Unveiled the Saloon and the Space Hub. These are 2 car names, actually, 2 concept cars, marking a significant shift toward electrification with the new platform, the new series Honda is calling. I think it's called O or Zero. I don't know what to call it yet. So Honda's O series, we'll call it that, including the Saloon and Space Hub. They're embracing what they're calling a thin, light, and wise design principle, representing a departure from the traditional EV constraints, lower platforms, denser batteries. So these cars, I know we got them up on the screen. I don't know quite what to make them. I think so one, if you're just listening, looks like, I don't know, like a big Lamborghini. The other one looks like the back of it looks like the nose of a space shuttle, and the front of it looks like a transport vehicle from
some futuristic movie.
Not Star Wars. Probably a little more
know the
Jetsons
movie
than Star Wars.
You know, it's some movie. It's some like futuristic movie that they've got some transport thing happening, and yeah.
So like the one,
whether or not you have handcuffs or whether you're happy to be in the back.
They're not handcuffs. If you get in one of these, it's like some kind of electronic hand restraint.
Absolutely.
Right. There's no cuffs in this world. So basically, the Saloon is the sporty design, right? It's meant to be fast, drive like a car. Some of the reviews say like it's much more of a driver's vehicle. The Space Hub is a passenger vehicle, very easy access in and out. Really nice lighting. Honda even has launched a new version of the Honda logo, the H logo, just showing their commitment to the space. So, advanced driver's features, all that. But Honda is just using this as a way to say we're leaning all in on EVs. We talked about it yesterday. They've kind of been sitting back a little bit, but
Paul, have you seen the the image where someone puts like all of the SUV CUVs next to each other?
Yeah, I have a problem with that image, but yes.
Okay, I have a problem with it too. I get it. But also, like, you would think we would maybe get inventive with the EV thing. But did you remember the little Kia thing yesterday, the commercial vehicle that we looked at?
Yeah, it does kind of look like the Space Hub. Brian Ortega. James Kurtenbach puts in the live sheets. I think the word you're looking for is ugly. And Brian Ortega chimes in and he just says Spaceballs, which is, yes, it's that's about accurate. Combination between NASA and Spaceballs is where we're gonna leave our official review for the Honda vehicle.
Man, we haven't even talked about NASA this week. Nathan, our producer,
maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's NASA day. Tomorrow we'll talk about. Find us the NASA article we're going to talk about tomorrow. But kind of pivoting through on Sony, because it's hard to just talk anymore about these. They're concept vehicles. We'll see where they actually land. But Honda is also leaning in because we know that they're doing this collab vehicle with Sony called the Afeela. It's a BEV. They released a new version yesterday. So it's got some nuance differences, and they released more data about like what the car will actually be now that it's much more. We have it up on the screen right now, a little simulation. Lots of screens inside, all-wheel drive. It's got supposedly new technology to help it charge faster. The battery lasts longer. They're doing a virtual and a real launch. So the virtual launch is actually set to release in Gran Turismo 7. That way you can actually drive the car and experience the car inside the video game 2 years before you can even get it. Orders are opening up in 2025. Starting price around 45,000, which no one expects to be the starting price.
I think it's so interesting that they're releasing it in GT7 because GT is typically like meant to experience the real world driving dynamics of the actual vehicle. So I'm wondering how they actually like baked that in when the vehicle.
Yeah, it's going to crush everybody else off the line probably.
Absolutely, it has to. Yeah, it's like 0 to 60 is nothing. But you know, we're seeing, I mean, we've seen this multiple times now with BMW and a couple other manufacturers. Tesla is starting to introduce these vehicles in, augmented or mixed reality. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, and
I'm excited about
it.
Well,
there apparently is an LED screen on the outside of the front bumper that can be displayed messages, warnings, or get this, video game ads.
I mean, like they're just gonna make all of us like walking advertisements or driving advertisements.
And apparently, when the car came out, I can't remember if it was the Sony guy or the Honda guy, but he drove it out onto the stage using a PS5 controller. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
What is this world?
Oh, speaking of what is this world?
Stop. Segue.
Time. Evan Spiegel, the Snap CEO.
You know him.
You know him, the guy that is in charge of Snapchat, declared social media is dead in an internal memo focusing on Snapchat's future beyond smartphones and criticizing rivals for their shortcomings. He just came out swinging.
Ironically, we're reporting about it on social media.
Naturally, because
does that mean we're in heaven?
Happens. Yeah. We're in social media heaven.
No, we're not.
Following stagnant revenue and layoffs, he emphasized a shift towards augmented reality and improved performance for users and advertisers. He criticized platforms like Meta's Facebook and Instagram and the X platform, specifically accusing them of negative social impacts. He wanted to position Snapchat as a platform promoting teen happiness, and better health, in contrast to Meta's recent initiatives. So that's a pretty bold statement to say like, no. This social media platform, we don't do anything to impact, the mental.
We just put on face filters to make everybody look like they don't.
Right. Exactly.
See how happy they are?
See, they love it.
I know. I mean, I think so. Like some Snap employees have expressed like the fact like, we don't quite like that direction or tone. But I think there is the nugget in there of truth is that I do believe that people are interacting in a different way than the social media way, right? And we've seen a mass migration onto private DM platforms, to more experiential platforms. The emergence of, the glasses and AR is definitely going to get us out of this. When I think social media, you think feed-based interaction.
Yeah.
And so I think there's like truth in it, but some of it is a little visionary CEO.
It's interesting because like if you just look at the way the trends of all social media app platforms, they all just kind of like assume each other's technology over time and they grow to become almost the same thing. Very with similar, a little bit different iterations. So,
just like the poster you were talking about of all the little SUVs.
It's kind of the same as the little SUVs.
It is. I think so. But look, I don't know. I don't think there's anything else to be said about that. But
there's
just
nothing else to be said
because you're not on Snapchat, are you?
Dead. I'm definitely not on Snapchat. You kidding me?
I wonder how many of our colleagues are on Snapchat. But hey, this kind of brings me back to one of the very first like steady segments in the Asotu email, which was what the kids are into.
Yeah.
Right. The very first Asotu email for like the first year, we always had a what the kids are into. And I was always tapping my teenager and be like, hey, what are you guys talking about right now?
Snapchat, TikTok, and YouTube shorts.
Yep. My kids don't have any. Well, they do YouTube shorts. Snapchat, TikTok. We're not doing that right now.
Not doing that.
Not doing that just yet. Hey, look, whatever you're doing today, we hope you get out there and keep your eyes off social media. We can be on social media, but keep your eyes up. Who can you serve? Who can you encourage? And let's go sell some cars and let's go serve some dealers too. Why not? We'll just do it all.